My journey really starts in my early 20s. I had experienced incarceration and domestic violence, and I didn't know how to get out of those situations. So eventually when I made the decision to finally leave, it was 2018, and I actually made the choice to become homeless and began living out of my car. And for me, that was like rock bottom. I actually sought refuge in a homeless shelter in downtown and really started trying to pick up the pieces to my life. But it was in that moment of going into that shelter and being around other marginalized people that I realized there were a lot of systemic issues that are impacting people in a really tangible way, and how we often forget about the struggles of marginalized people or people who are, on the fringes of society, and really they're the most deserving people out there. So that experience of being pregnant in the homeless shelter was just like really fundamentally changed the way I view society and like my role in it, and really inspired me to want to make change. From the homeless shelter, I returned to school, and as I entered school, I became an advocate for formerly incarcerated populations, for homeless populations, for women. I became really involved in fighting for issues that I had personally experienced and had a real nuanced perspective on. My son had been struggling with ADHD, and he was having a really hard time at school, and he started to feel really bad about himself, and I didn't know how to get him the support he needed. I didn't know the right things to say. I was hitting roadblocks with the school, and it was just to watch my son struggle and to feel really helpless, even as a person who, is able to advocate for myself on a very general level, and who wants to work and advocate for others. It was incredibly frustrating to see him struggle so much. And so when the Legal Aid Society came in and offered their support and their expertise and their guidance, and they showed up and they sat with me in the meetings with these people who had tried to roadblock me and said no on my behalf, or said that's not good enough on our behalf. And we ended up making it through this process, and now my son has the supports he needs to be successful, and he's not sad anymore. And I feel more confident as a parent, I can assert my rights, and I know that if I can't, someone there is going to be there to help me.
What resonates most with me about Legal Aid Society of San Diego's mission is its dedication to ensuring equal access to justice for all. This aligns deeply with my strong belief that everyone should have access to the court and justice system and the support they need to live their lives with dignity, personhood, and a sense of empowerment for themselves.
Without legal aid's critical services, more families will become homeless, more children will go to bed hungry, and more people with disabilities and illnesses will lose their health care. By the time people come to our door, they're out of time, they're out of resources, and they are in crisis. We are their safety net.
On my own, even though I had these skills to advocate, I wasn't using the correct terminology. I wasn't asking the right questions, because you don't know what you don't know. And so having someone who is, experienced in navigating these specific hurdles come in and really share their expertise with you and hold your hand through this process was just life altering. Instead of hitting the wall over and over and over again for months at a time, I was able to resolve this immediately. As soon as the attorney came in, it signaled to everyone there that that my family had support, and this was something we were going to resolve. And so just that sense of support and having someone hold my hand really made it was incredibly empowering.
Supporting legal aid is an investment in stronger, more stable communities. When people are able to stay in their homes or get access to the education that they deserve, it creates a ripple effect, making San Diego a better and stronger community for all of us to live in, regardless of how much money you make.
The need was already overwhelming, and now we are facing unprecedented funding uncertainties. And at the same time, benefits at the federal level, housing, healthcare access, other government benefits are changing, and that means more people than ever are going to need our services.
We often don't realize how important this work is until it touches our lives. I think back to all the people who were in that homeless shelter, and a lot of their issues could have been mitigated had they had proper legal support, or had they been connected to community in the ways that the Legal Aid Society tries to foster. I just think that the Legal Aid Society is so much more than a legal organization. It's the heartbeat of the community and the hand out to people who otherwise don't have anyone to reach to.